Three.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Chi Delta's Achievement Week 2022 program. We're going to start momentarily. People are coming in. I thank everyone for attending.
Listen up, bros.
Brothers, please make a quick announcement. If you are in Omega attire, please come on camera. Please come on camera.
Okay, bro.
Brother Pete, you're in, and we can go.
Yes, I'm in.
The floor is yours.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We thank you for being here for a special event for the fraternity, the 2nd District, and Chi Delta chapter. We ask that you sit back and enjoy the things that we have to present to you this evening. And hopefully you will learn something, not only about Omega, but also about Chi Delta. The Achievement Week program was started many years ago, some decades ago. And it's basically for people to understand what we do and have a chance to see some of the things that we are known for. Technically, it's observed each November, and it's designed to recognize those individuals in the local and international levels who have contributed to our community with uplift. It is a mandated program of our fraternity, and it's to be held every year in conjunction with Achievement Week that bookends around what we call Founders Day, which is November 17th, 1911. At this point, I'm going to ask our immediate past bossless, Brother Mo Garland, to come up and identify any of our stalwart and special attendees tonight before we go to the invocation.
All right, thank you, Brother Hickabakum. Good evening. I'm Maurice Garland, the immediate past bossless of Chi Delta chapter, and I'm standing in for our newly installed bossless, Brother Joseph Drayton, Esquire. Greetings, everyone, and welcome. I want to thank all of my brothers from Omega Psi Phi Fraternity for their attendance. I wanted to thank all of the chapter brothers of Chi Delta chapter for your attendance, as well as to the public, as well as the special guests. Before I get on to recognizing some of our special guests, I do want to talk about the program, our goal of this program, always to honor our founders, recognize the contribution by community leaders, recognize the contributions by Chi Delta brothers, as well as other Omega men. I'm excited about what we've accomplished this year. While we were very close to winning the 2nd District Small Graduate Chapter of the Year Award, we did win the Retention Chapter of the Year Award at the district level, as well as the international level. So Chi Delta was out there making things happen, working, reclaiming brothers, as well as retaining our brothers. I am confident that this is just the start of great accomplishments, and the new chapter leadership will continue this journey of excellence. Chi Delta is grounded in 4 strategic imperatives: flawless execution of the fraternity's business, friendship, always being fraternal, infrastructure and sustainability, and finally, the 4th one, leadership at the local level, district, and international. At Chi Delta, we strive to hold ourselves to the standard that the founders have set. We continue to strive for this perfection and exceed the standard. I'm going to share a quote that we always share within Chi Delta from Brother Edgar Love, which reflects that standard that I was referencing. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity is not a status club, but a fraternity, a brotherhood of high-minded, serious thinking, noble living men, leaders, not followers, makers of policy and molders of opinion. Brothers, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of our guests that are on the call. First, I would like to recognize our Grand Keeper of Record and Seals, Brother Sherman Shorty Bang Bang Charles. Second, I would like to recognize also a brother that's in politics doing some great things for us, Brother Nick Charles. And then finally, I'd like to take a moment and recognize our 2nd District First Vice, Brother Amir Sharif. All right. With that, Brother Hickenbottom, I think we have all of the guests that we need to recognize. I will turn it back over to you.
Hey, Brother Immediate Past, if I could, for a second, I heard a pregnant pause. I'm not for sure if that was my opportunity to slide in.
It was, but you moved slow, brother, but it's floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. And, Brother Immediate Past, thank you for this opportunity. And I won't be before you, brothers, long. And to all of our political leaders, the people who've done the phenomenal work in the community, our district committee chairs, Brother Higginbotham, as well as Brother Drayton, Brother Bossless, and so many others, brothers. I just want to say that it is always an honor and a privilege to be able to come to this Achievement Week program. As I've said myriad times, the flagship chapter, the Brothers of Chi Delta, continue to punch above their weight. And what Brother Immediate Past just articulated was very important and very salient as we try to move Omega forward to the next level and beyond. He talked about the importance of understanding where we must be grounded. And he mentioned a critical word. It's not just about the leadership, but it's that our friendship actually is fraternal. And as we move towards, as the Brothers of Chi Delta move towards 50 years of sustained superior performance, I am always extremely appreciative of the brothers of your ilk and in your chapter. The works that you do, my brothers, are commendable. And it is you, brothers, that execute these amazing things in our community. And so for all the participants, sit back and enjoy and watch Omega Excellence emanating through our computer screens through the Brothers of Chi Delta chapter. And so to that, Brother Immediate Past, again, I thank you for this opportunity, but I also thank you for inviting me and thinking well enough of me to be in your presence tonight. And you guys are going to be in for an outstanding word and message from our Grand Keeper of Records and Seal, Brother Sherman L. Charles. And what I will tell you this, Brother Immediate Past, as you articulated, leadership at the chapter level, at that local level, that district level, I do believe that in short order, you will see that type of outstanding leadership coming at the international level from somebody from the Chi Delta chapter. Brothers, I yield. I thank you for this opportunity.
All right. Thank you, Brother First Vice. Appreciate those kind words. Brother Hickenbottom, we'll turn it back over to you.
Okay. Thank you, my brother.
Listen up, bros. Our founders of Omega Psi Phi taught us 4 cardinal principles: manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. Manhood, our history tells us that brother Oscar James Cooper was guided in the discipline to become a sturdy man. He mastered the arts of being a fine gentleman. Cooper was neat and proper in his dress and distinctly chivalrous in his manner. And don't sleep, y'all. Brother Cooper was never flashy, but clearly my man had some swag. When you talk about scholarship, Brother Frank Coleman had just that. He graduated from M Street School with high honors, graduated with great distinction from Howard University, and his record was so outstanding that immediately they made him an instructor in physics. Coleman would also answer the call to arms and fight in the First World War. After faithfully serving his tour, Coleman was honorably discharged and returned back to Howard University as a professor to exemplify the frat's second cardinal principle of scholarship. Perseverance, Brother Edgar Amos Love defined that. He served as a chaplain in the 365th Infantry during World War I. He saw action in the Vasquez Mountains and in the Argonne Forest in France, spending not 1, not 2, but 8 days in the Great Offensive. During those campaigns, Brother Love was exhausted. However, he continued to inspire the 3,000 men he oversaw to live nobly as soldiers of the cross. To the men in his regiment, his very name inspired them to press on. And finally, uplift. Dr. Ernest Everett Just, Phi Beta Kappa, and a PhD. Brother Just earned so many honors, naming all of them, shoot, I'll need another hour. He collaborated with some of the best scientists in America and produced a standard work of cytology, which was published in 1924. Leading German biologists selected him as the best fitted among the world scholars to write a paper on fertilization. He engaged in research at the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute in Germany for biology, at the private laboratories of the crowned heads of Europe, and received about $80,000 a year for research. Bruz, that's equal to $1.2 million today. I told you, Brother Just was that dude. So let me leave you with this, brothers. Since I crossed spring 2003 EII, I proudly rocked my pair and wore my gold boots right here and set out a hop on TV. But this year, we can learn something from our founders. Omega's not what's on you, it's what's in you. Happy Founders Day, brothers.
Brothers and guests, you see this next slide for Dr. Oscar James Cooper. He was a leader in the sense that all of those 3 undergraduates, Brother Cooper, Brother Love, and Brother Coleman, sought out a mentor, Brother Dr. Just, to start something that has now been around for over 111 years. When you think about the significance of that, how many times do you hear about things that get started and they might be gone in 20 years or a decade? But Omega pushes on. And we are here as the caretakers to make sure that it continues to push on. Presenting the stand-in for Brother Dr. Oscar James Cooper is Brother Marcus McDonald.
Excuse me, brothers, guests, good evening. I want to welcome you all once again to this auspicious occasion. I was initiated into this wonderful organization through the Chi Delta chapter, spring of 1987. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce this evening's 2022 stand-in for founder Oscar James Cooper. William Rodney Lawson, better known as Rodney, is a highly devoted to his family, close friends, and his brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Brother Lawson was born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the only child to his parents. His family eventually settled in Maryland. At an early age, Rodney developed an interest in sports, especially football. He grew up playing football in boys club, high school, and eventually at Towson State University, where he attended college. It was at TSU where he pledged and became a member of Nasty Epsilon, Iota Epsilon, chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated in the spring of 1995. During his time at Towson and alongside his brothers, Rodney volunteered at various charitable events in the community. Not only did he pledge the fraternity at Towson, but it's also where he met his beautiful wife of 27 years. After transferring to the University of Maryland, College Park, Rodney obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree in criminal justice. He desired to go into law enforcement, but changed course and pursued a career in real estate. After graduating, Rodney's loyalty to his family never ceased. He became a life member in 2002. He assisted in countless fundraisers and service projects and volunteered as a football coach with local area boys clubs. In support of his neighborhood's civic association, Rodney would help Brother Rufus Daniels, Gamma Sigma Omega chapter, to deliver turkey dinners to families in need for Thanksgiving in Prince George's County. One of Rodney's proudest moments is when he became a father. His only daughter followed in his Greek footsteps and was initiated into Lambda Kappa of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Brother Lawson has been a proud member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated for 37 years and continues to uphold the fraternity's motto, friendship is essential to the soul. It gives me great pleasure to present the 2022 founder stand-in, brother for Oscar James Cooper, Brother Rodney Lawson.
You're on mute, Rodney. Rodney, you're on mute.
Thank you. I appreciate the honor.
Is that it, Brother Rod?
That is it, my brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Brother William Rodney Lawson. Stand in for Brother Oscar James Cooper. Next up, we have the stand-in, or I should say the presenter for founder Frank Coleman. Brother Coleman was a native Washingtonian. He lived in DC and he went to school there and then matriculated to Howard before going to Chicago and Pennsylvania. He was the professor and head of physics for Howard, and he touched the lives of a significant number of students. Also, if you will pay attention, you will see that many of our founders also served in the armed forces during world wars and skirmishes that our country entered into. Needless to say, they often were not treated right when they returned back home. They were often jilted and not given many of the benefits, grants and loans and things like that to be able to buy property or whatever that many of their non-Black colleagues were able to get. Presenting this recognition for brother, standing for Brother Coleman, is me. And it's truly an honor for me to present this to a longtime friend of mine, Brother Arthur C. Colbert Jr., who actually pledged Omega in 1971 in Chi Sigma in the University of Indiana State in Terre Haute. There has been no verification that Brother Colbert taught Larry Bird how to play basketball when he was a young buck. But nevertheless, Brother Colbert, he would pledge there and then transfer to Morgan State University in Baltimore. And he would complete both his BS in business administration and also an MBA in accounting. There he would be inducted into the Delta Mu Delta Business Honor Society in 1978. Art also holds a certificate in project management from the GW University from 1997. Art retired recently as a business transformation financial consultant, say that 5 times fast, with American Operations Corporation Global Services, which is like a defense contractor for America. In his last assignment, he supported the Department of the Army in the Program Management Office, and also the Army Financial Improvement Program. He has worked for the Department of Navy, documenting process memos, flowcharts, risk analysis, and he's also worked with Fleet Forces Command and the Marine Corps. At Department of the Army, he was part of a statement of budgetary resources audit readiness team. And he also did major Department of the Army accessible units, as well as conducting internal controls to test and evaluate Army readiness for external audits and business segments. Prior to that, Art was a consulting assignment, or he held a consulting assignment with IFAS, IBM, K-Force Bradson, Nucor Vision, Webley Systems, and DMR Consulting. He went on to work with AT&T and retired from AT&T in 1998. And he felt a number of financial management positions, including Deputy Program Manager for government markets. Also, he worked in journals, manager of billing, senior internal auditor, and manager financial regulatory matters. Brother Art has been a chair of numerous committees at the local chapter level, district level, and international levels of the fraternity. He's held officer positions in local chapters such as Dean of Pledges at Chi Sigma and Pi chapter, assistant keeper of records in SEAL, at Mu Omega, keeper of finance at Mu Nu and Tau Pi, vice bossless at Tau Pi, and bossless at Tau Pi. He was honored as Tau Pi's Chapter Omega Man of the Year in 2006 and received a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2019. On the district level, he's been a member and chaired the audit and site selection committees. Also, he's been a member of the site selection committee. He coordinated planning for the 2nd District Winter Council meeting that was affected by the pandemic. And on the international level, he worked on the Government Relations Committee during sessions of the annual Congressional Black Caucus and represented the fraternity during the AKA sorority centennial celebration. He was a member of the Unity March Committee. Right now, Brother Colbert is also on the board of the Unity 9 Political Action Committee. He's married to the lovely Lydia, and he's a proud father of daughter Stephanie. Art is now a snowbird, spending his time between Laurel, Maryland and Wesley Chapel, Florida. It gives me great honor to present the Founder's Standing Recognition to Brother Arthur C. Colbert Jr. for founder, Professor Frank Coleman.
Thank you, Brother Higginbotham, for those kind words. Greetings, brothers and honored guests. It is my privilege to receive the Founder's Standing Award for Professor Frank Coleman. As I've transitioned into the next phase of my life in terms of being a snowbird, retired from the working world, the love for Omega and the work for Omega does not end. As I am a snowbird, I'm still with the 2nd District, but now with the 7th District in Tampa, Florida, where the 2024 Grand Conclave will be held. As I've met great friends and brothers in this Tampa area, of course, they knew many of the 2nd District brothers that I know and immediately pulled me into Pi Iota chapter, the host for the 2024 conclave. So my work for Omega is being done in the 2nd District and the 7th District. The work for Omega does not end, nor does my love for Omega. Brothers, thank you for this award, and thank you for all guests, and my time is up. I thank you for yours.
Thank you, Brother Colbert. Brother next is founding brother Bishop Edgar Amos Love. Brother Love is from Harrisonburg, Virginia, and he also went to the Academy of Morgan College. He was a devout man of God. He is also known for some of his sermons that he delivered throughout the years. And if you ever want to hear some preaching, just Google Edgar A. Love sermons, and there should be a few that come up. He could talk very well with much fire, and he inspired brothers to do things that I believe they normally would not have done if not for his encouragement. He was, again, another one of our founders of brothers that was in the U.S. Army as a chaplain. And he eventually became the bishop of the Methodist Church. Brother Love, well, this chapter has a distinct honor in that when it was originally being chartered, a couple of brothers, I believe it was Brother Joseph Young, our first Bosselist, and one of my line brothers, Brother Bruce Johnson, that had to drive up to Baltimore for Bishop Love to bless the charter. We believe that that is one of the things that gives us the power, the dignity, the perseverance, and the uplift to keep coming back and doing what we need to do for the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. Presenting the Founders Recognition stand-in for Brother Bishop Edgar A. Love is Brother Dr. Kevin Greenall.
Nah, I think it's,
Did I get that wrong? I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm looking ahead.
No worries.
Please forgive me.
You got me unmuted? You got me unmuted?
Good to go.
I'm like, let me change that, brothers. This acknowledgement is going to be done by a fairly famous brother in Chi Delta also. This brother now resides in California. He was one of the men who sparred Sugar Ray Leonard into becoming a world champion. He turned Will Smith into Muhammad Ali. And this brother also turned himself into the buck-naked ref in Play It to the Bone. This brother is none other than Brother Darrell Foster. Sorry about that, Darrell.
No worries, man. No worries. Y'all, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Greetings, brothers. This is a special privilege for me. Greetings, distinguished guests and everyone on board today. My name is Darrell Foster, and I had the honor of presenting the Founder Stand-In Award for Brother Edgar A. Love. Now, as you all may attest, Omega Psi Phi has stood for many things, of course, in the course of our lifetime. Manhood, scholarship, perseverance, uplift, but one thing of most of all is a commitment to excellence. And perhaps most importantly, brotherhood. And in this brotherhood, we know friendship is essential to the soul. So I'm here today to honor not just one of my brothers, but one of my friends that exemplifies all the attributes and has committed a lifetime of service to our brotherhood and to the organization of Omega Psi Phi and our fraternity. William H. Connolly III exemplifies the spirit of calmness, quiet spirit like Brother Love. Will was our go-to guy. For those of you that don't know, this gentleman was my sans. So he's been serving our fraternity for over 44 years, both locally in the community and throughout the country. Will Connolly always exhibited determination, problem solving, perseverance, and that's what stood out to me. When in opportunities of trying to figure out, how we gonna navigate this pledge program, Will confronted me often about the end result. And one of the things I hope that we discover is how a human being should lead his life. And that always stuck with me. Will Connolly III was born in Washington, D.C. and resided there until he was about 14, where he moved to Oxon Hill. And then he transferred to Potomac High School, where he played against us because I went to Largo. He graduated in 1975, and then moved on to attend University of Maryland, where he graduated in College Park in 1981 with a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature. He's currently a member of the Chi Delta graduate chapter, and he's been married to Frida for over 33 years. They have 2 daughters and 3 grandchildren. He worked for the federal government, but for a time there, he tried on being an entrepreneur, and he had his own small business selling Afro-American cultural items, and partnered that with working with the U.S. government as both a program manager and a contractor. He's not new to awards. He's been a member of the Social Action Committee, and he received a Bachelor's Award in 2021. I do believe it's 44 years, but he's now, as of 2022, life member of our beloved fraternity. As you can hear from the stories and accolades, Will is more than deserving of this illustrious honor. I'm proud to call him my brother. I'm more proud to call him my friend. Congratulations to Mr. William H. Conley III on a well-deserved recognition. Many are called, few are chosen.
All right. Thank you for that, Brother Darrell, my good brother. So I'd like to thank the Creator for the many blessings, and thank the brothers for this honor as a stand for Bishop Love. I'm truly honored to have been selected for this. And I'm truly glad that you all are my brothers. And I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Conley. Next up, for the last of our founders, is Brother Dr. Ernest E. Just. Brother Just was a heck of a guy, and you figure that based on some of the things he did and the way that he was able to bring young people together and mentor them, it was no mistake that the other 3 founders who were students at Howard went to him to try to make Omega a real thing on the Howard campus. There's, if you check out the history of Omega, they did not want Omega at Howard, but those guys persevered. They wanted to make sure that this brand of brotherhood that they were thinking about and trying to create would become an organization. And as a matter of fact, the first Black fraternity at a predominantly Black institution. It is no mystery that because of racism, inability to get some of the educational grants and funding that he should have gotten, that Brother Just eventually went over to Europe, where he created so many patents and medical things. It's just unbelievable. He went there, and eventually he also died overseas. But in the annals of what he did scientifically, and also the things that he did for the Black community, not only Omega Psi Phi, he is a man that has been honored several times, several ways. And if you recall, he also had one of the Black Heritage postage stamps made in his honor. Making the presentation for stand-in for founder Dr. Ernest E. Just is Brother Joseph Young, Chi Delta's first Bachelor's.
Good evening, brothers. I have the privilege of recognizing a brother who has done outstanding work for Chi Delta, but more importantly for the state of Maryland and for specifically the Baltimore community. Brother Michael L. Davis, a native of Baltimore, he's a graduate of the Baltimore City Public School Systems and a 1975 graduate of the University of Maryland, College Park. Brother Davis was also the Chi Delta's 2021 Business of the Year recipient. He is the sole owner and the Chief Executive Officer of Omega Psi Phi Technology, which is an innovative information technology firm specializing in network integration and infrastructure design. Brother Davis founded Omega Psi Phi Technology in 2002. He grew this business from a one-man operation with less than $200,000 in revenue in its first year. But Mr. Davis now employs a staff of 23 with multi-million-dollar average annual revenues for the past 17 years. Prior to Omega Psi Phi, Brother Davis retired from the Baltimore City Public School Systems in 2000, where he had held several positions as an educator, administrator, and a staff director of the Information Technology Department. He was an early adopter and promoter of the technology used in the Baltimore City Public Schools, combining his keen interest in technology and a passion for teaching young adults. Mr. Davis was instrumental in creating an innovative technology program at Baltimore City's Edmiston High School in the West Side Skills Center, teaching students hands-on computer skills. It was Brother Davis who solicited donations and support from major IT companies such as Dell, IBM, CompuServe, Microsoft, and many other technology firms. These firms supported his vision of a state-of-the-art technology program inside of Baltimore City Public Schools, and that became a reality. The program, Management Information Systems, Westside, introduced and educated many young adults in the field of computer technology before technology was even popular in the 1990s. Some of these students were at risk, who without this program may not have achieved the same success in their lives. The MIS Westside produced many successful graduates that are currently working as senior program developers. They also are involved in Social Security of Baltimore IT directors, the Pentagon IT infrastructure manager, and other technology positions, including owners of their own information technology firms. Today, Omega Psi Phi Technology has played a significant part in providing information technology infrastructures upgrades to many institutions and organizations. A few of the most recent clients include Morgan State University, Philly Live, Pittsburgh Live, and Maryland Live casinos and hotels, the Federal Reserve Bank, the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City, the Monticello Raceway Casino Resorts in New York, and most of the area's school systems and a host of other large companies in the Baltimore metropolitan area. Brother Davis has used his financial success to assist and support his local community. He is known for donating generously to various organizations such as the Associated Black Charities, Morgan State Universities, the Reginald F. Lewis Museum, the MWPH Grand Lodge of Maryland, and many other organizations in the Baltimore-based community. Brother Davis' experience with large information technology companies is that he pays lip service to customers while their primary focus remains their own bottom line. Mr. Davis wanted McAfee Technologies LLC edge over its competition to be customer service and made this the company's highest goal. The brother is profoundly driven to deliver 100% for his clients. And Mr. Davis has established a position McAfee Technology as the go-to information technology firm in the region. He is sought after for many specialized infrastructure projects, and he believes the formula for achieving business success is strategically position it, uniquely plan it, and then do it 100%. Brothers, it's my honor and privilege to introduce to some of you, but right now, just give this brother the accolades that he so duly deserves. My line brother, Brother Michael L. Davis, let's give this brother a mighty clap.
Thank you, Brother Young. Good evening, brothers. Hello, guests. I'm glad and honored to have received this award. I feel and I felt when Pete contacted me about this award that there are many other brothers out there that work hard in the community, that support their local churches and their local school districts and their local communities, and they're out in front and they're doing charitable activities. I felt that when Pete asked me, I'm saying, well, I'm not out in front. I'm kind of the quiet guy and I do donations on the back end. And it was a strange thing that Pete said to me and it stuck with me. He said, Mike, sometimes being quiet is more important to being in front. And that's when I said, okay, Pete, all right, I'll go ahead and accept this award. But again, I felt very strange in taking it because I see a lot of brothers doing a lot of activities in the community. I appreciate the award. I respectfully, I feel honored to receive this award. And hopefully I can become one of those out front brothers as I begin to retire. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Davis. Next up, everyone, I'm going to bring up used to be a young man that I had the pleasure of bringing into the fraternity back in '77 to introduce our keynote speaker for the evening. I present to you, Brother Luther Clark.
Good evening, brothers and guests. Protocol having been established, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. Brother Sherman L. Charles, or Shorty Bang Bang as he is affectionately known, currently serves as the Grand Keeper of Records and Seal for the fraternity. As the Grand Keeper of Records and Seal, he is responsible for keeping a record of the official proceedings of the fraternity and overseeing the operation of the international headquarters. Brother Charles served as the 35th Second District Representative from 2016 to 2018. And prior to that, he has served on numerous chapter and district committees, both as a member and as a chairman. He was also the district marshal for the 66th Second District Conference in 2014. Brother Charles has served as the bossless of 2 chapters, out of New Chapter in Aberdeen, Maryland from 1992 to 1994, and Lambda Gamma Gamma chapter at Fort Meade, Maryland from 2007 to 2009. Brother Charles has received numerous Omega honors. 2nd District Omega Man of the Year, 2010, 2015. 2nd District Founders Lifelong Service Award, 2012. Omega Man of the Year, out a new chapter, 1993 and 94. Omega Man of the Year, Lambda Xi chapter, 2001. Omega Man of the Year, Lambda Gamma Gamma chapter, 2006, 2009, 2014. He also received his 40-year service pin at the 81st Grand Conclave down in New Orleans, Louisiana. And this is just to name a few. Brother Charles is a graduate of Prairie View A&M University, where he earned his Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. He earned his master's degree from the Florida Institute of Technology and Acquisition Management. Professionally, he is a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and a retired civilian supervisory electronics engineer from the Defense Information Systems Agency located at Fort Meade, Maryland. Brother Charles is a family-oriented man, married to his lovely wife, Pam, and between them they have 2 daughters, Jasmine and Alicia, and a son, Jonathan, along with 5 grandchildren. He is an ardent supporter of communal projects and truly embraces our implied motto of lifting as we climb. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to some and present to others our Grand Keeper of Records and Seal, my friend, Brother Sherman L. Charles.
Thank you, my brothers. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here. I want to thank my Lord and Savior for his grace and mercy for allowing me to come before you. Most importantly, to the brothers and the community of Chi Delta, what an honor it is to come before you. The 2nd District is where I had an opportunity to lead and serve and have a significant impact on the community. We are here because of what we do in our community. Our Achievement Week theme is Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, providing uplift to local, national, and world communities. Well, you really can't understand the depth and the breadth of our theme unless you talk about impact. So I'm going to continue to beat the doors down on impact because it is about the impact that we have in our communities at the local, national, and world levels. But before we get to impact, I'm going to shift gears on you and talk about a couple of things that we know about, but we don't talk about. Let me talk about our cardinal principles first. Manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. To get to uplift, you have to start with manhood to get through the next 2. But more importantly, you got to talk about Christian manhood as we are taught in our initiation and in our rededication ritualistic teachings. There are 5 points I want to make about Christian manhood before I breeze through the other cardinal principles to get to uplift, which is what our theme is about. A man has to, let me say this, I'm going to step on my own feet. But in my research in terms of the teachings about Christian manhood, number 1, a man controls his emotions and his passions. Single or married, he has to tame his passions, and sometimes we fall a little short. He doesn't abuse women, I know I don't, or children. He protects them. He keeps his hands off women who is not his wife and treats his wife with love, respect, and dignity. He protects a single woman's virginity and innocence, and he is not defined by his exploits below his waist. He's a man with a heart, a head, and a conscience. Number 2, a man provides for his family. There's a reason that we're built the way that we are. We are built to provide for our family. 1 Timothy 5, chapter 8 said, verse 8 says, But if anyone does not provide for his own, especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. I can talk about faith for a long time, but you have to have faith in God. And if you don't have faith in God, guess what? You're worse than an unbeliever. A man who doesn't work, who can't keep a job, who moves from job to job, or who refuses to assume his responsibility creates insecurity in his wife and his children and in his community. Every man needs to provide for his family, which means taking responsibility to provide for emotional and spiritual needs. A father must train his children. Well, you know, too often we have to have mentorship programs because fathers are not training their youth, and we have to step in as mentors to do their job for them, to prepare them to be of service in the community and to the families when they grow up. Number 3, a man protects his family. Well, you know, we talk about when you pick up a brother at 3 o'clock in the morning. How about this one? What if you hear something in your house that's going on downstairs, a noise? Do you ask your wife, honey, do you want to take that bat and go down and handle this, or do you want me to? Well, if you're the man of the house, you need to go down and take care of that intruder because you're the man of the house. You don't turn to your wife and say, sweetheart, here's the bat, go for it. You are the man and you have to protect your household. Being a protector calls for more than ensuring physical security. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 10 to 15 describes a father who protects his son by passing on wisdom, helping him build godly character, and teaching him to reject the lies and the temptations of the world. I don't know about you, but I know my father had a strong hand in my upbringing to make sure that I would grow and become the man that I am. Number 4, a man serves and leads his family. Serve and lead may be a contradiction, but they're inseparable according to the scripture. So let me step on a few toes here. While the Apostle Paul tells us in Ephesians 5, verse 23, that the husband is the head of the wife, he quickly puts the rest of the notions that this leadership allows for selfish male dominance. He completes it with the sentence that is, as Christ is the head of the church. And I'll tell you, if you're not the head of your household, then not only are you not the head of the church as Christ is the head of the church, but you're not the head of your wife. The passage goes on to say that the husband should love their wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Number 5, a man follows God's design for true masculinity. Micah chapter 6, verse 8 says, he has told you, oh man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you but to do justice? Now, I can talk about that for the rest of the night. But to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God. And I don't know about you, but I have to work every day to be humble and to walk humbly before God. You see, a courageous man is never off duty. You see, I may have retired from the Army, but I'm still on active duty. I may have retired as a civil servant, but I'm still a servant to my community and to the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity as your Grand KRS. I may be a 100% disabled veteran, but God says that I'm still able and that I need to be an ambassador for him and for Omega. You see, our founders are gone. And I was doing a little research. Our first Grand Keeper of Records and Seal, where he was the first Grand Keeper of Records, the way it was written then, Brother Oscar J. Cooper. What a coincidence that I was selected to be the founder stand-in for Brother Oscar J. Cooper for the 2nd District some years ago. And now here I am standing before you as your Grand Keeper of Records and Seal. I would say that God had faith. And more importantly, You see, manhood, or more importantly, Christian manhood, is so closely linked to scholarship. So when you talk about manhood and scholarship being linked, think about Christian manhood and Christian scholarship. What I'm trying to say there is I attend the prayer calls every day, trying to improve myself and to continue to learn about God. And I learn something every day when I'm on those prayer calls. So I'm a work in progress to try to improve my Christian manhood so I can be a better Omega man to lead for you. Manhood is not just about how you bench press, how much you bench press, how fast you run the 40 or slam dunk in a basketball. Manhood for Omega man is about Christian manhood. And we need to remember that and enforce that in our walks of life. It's all right to be out, but be out as an Omega man in terms of manhood and or Christian manhood. Scholarship is not just about your GPA or number of degrees that you have when you talk about Christian manhood. It's about keeping the faith, improving your knowledge in your craft, and studying the word of God. Perseverance is so closely linked to uplift. All you have to do is look in the dictionary and you'll see my picture next to perseverance. But despite all the adversity that I've experienced growing up in college and ROTC, in engineering, and on active duty, being passed over for promotion and being selected as a civil servant and in the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, like I said, my fraternity is in the dictionary. My name, my photo is in the dictionary next to perseverance. Back to our theme, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity providing uplift to local, national, and world communities. You can't talk about uplift without talking about impact and being an ambassador of Omega. Our founders are gone. Guess who the ambassadors of Omega are now? It's all of us. Everywhere we walk, everywhere we go, there's cameras in the elevators, there's cameras on street corners, there's cameras everywhere looking at you. Every time that you put on that purple and gold, people are looking at you as an ambassador of Omega. Are you going to be an Omega man? Or are you going to be the outcue who really does not care what people think about you? I would surmise to say that I've embraced the role as an ambassador of Omega. But more importantly, I think we're all are ambassadors of Omega because our founders are gone. This is year 111, and we are leading Omega well into the 2nd century. No matter your position, Neo, committee chair, bosses, committee chair at the district level, district representative, grand keeper of records and seal, or grand bosses, you are an ambassador of Omega. There's an implied expectation that when you put on those symbols, that excellence as an ambassador of Omega is what the standard is. You will be on display wherever you go. Let me talk about the impact in terms of uplift, and then I'll get out of this presentation so we can get to the awards. Impact of uplift in the local, national, and world community. At the local level, I worked with an organization in Aberdeen called Black Youth in Action and Manhood One-on-One programs in Lambda Gamma Gamma chapter, mentoring men, teaching them how to tie bow ties and neckties. I didn't learn how to tie a necktie until 2016, but I also get pride in terms of teaching them respect for womanhood, teaching them about investments, teaching them about leadership, teaching these young men about uplift in their community. We talk about impact in terms of uplifting our seniors. You want to talk about true manhood? I changed my mother's diapers, Depends, and fly home to take her to neurology appointments on a monthly basis because she's going to turn 90 years old and she changed my diapers. So now it's my time to change hers. She can't make medical decisions because she's not able due to her reduced mobility and dementia. I currently chair the Rotating Endowment and Captain Leroy Thomas Jr. Scholarship at Prairie View A&M University. We have awarded $70,500 since the inception of that endowment in 2010. Now that's impact if you think about the amount of scholarships that we gave back in the 70s when we were on campus. Let's take a look at national impact. The Omega Network for Action was established as a 501c4 organization. 2 years ago, Omega Psi Phi, with the leadership of Congressman James Clyburn from South Carolina, along with all D9 organizations, helped get President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris elected. We didn't stop there. The D9 organizations focused our energy on the state of Georgia to get the Democrats, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, elected in a runoff. Here we go again with a runoff between Herschel Walker against Senator Raphael Warnock. We have our first Black governor in Maryland, Governor Wes Moore. So I think that's national impact in terms of uplift in our community. In terms of the world community, I'm almost done. Omega Psi Phi has chapters in Ghana, Shanghai, China, Dubai, Tijuana, Mexico, the Bahamas, the Dominican Republic, Germany, England, Panama, Canada, the Virgin Islands, Bermuda, Japan, and South Carolina. In 2019, the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity was invited by the government of Ghana to participate in an economic development summit. This invitation coincided with a mission from the 13th district to drill 2 boreholes in Ghana. Our people were drinking muddy water from creeks. They were washing clothes in muddy water. And having gone to Ghana twice this year, I saw it firsthand. And it saddens you and makes you cry to see young ladies washing their clothes in a pail with dirty, muddy water in it. The lack of this clean drinking water and sanitation systems contribute to 70% of the diseases in Ghana. 1,000 children under 5 years of age die each year in Ghana from diarrhea caused by polluted water. The Omega Psi Phi Fraternity has drilled over 70 boreholes or wells in Ghana. These wells provide clean, fresh water to thousands of Ghanaians for generations to come. Lambda Gamma Gamma chapter partnered with the Kudanese Presbyterian Church to build a KG block school in the Kudanese village. We received $51,000 donations to fund this project. We broke ground in May of 2022, and we went back over and dedicated this school in October of 2022. The project was in coordination with Team CSR and the Tall Kai chapter there in Ghana. The immediate past Grand Bosses borehole just happens to be 20 yards away from the school. That's 2 first downs on the football field. The Omega Psi Phi Fraternity also became the first national Panhellenic organization and the 3rd Divine Nine organization to receive special consultative status with the United Nations Bureau for National Government Organizations. This provides the fraternity with international recognition of the humanitarian and other significant work that we do globally. Just recently, I took a trip to Panama, almost done. And in telling our story, the governor of Cologne wanted to know, what is it that Omega Psi Phi does? And the brothers that were presenting struggled to explain what we were doing in the church. I grabbed my cell phone. I pulled up pictures of the school we dedicated in October and walked over to her and showed her pictures of the school, that the KG block that we dedicated in October. Naturally, it's purple and gold, but the pictures helped her understand that the Kudanese Presbyterian Church made a request. That request came through the chapter to us. We raised the funds, we commissioned, we broke ground, we built the school, and we dedicated it. Well, I'll tell you, through social media of us posting our pictures in terms of what we did there and pictures of the borehole there, Stillman College has come online and want to participate with us with other projects there in Ghana. To wrap up, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity is providing uplift to local, national, and world communities. The question is, are we making a significant impact in our community on the local, the national, and the world stage? I would submit to you, yes, we are. But we can do more. The question is, as individuals, are you making an impact? I would say that we all can do more. I would not have run for the position of Grand Keeper of Records and Seal if I didn't think I could not make an impact and influence the way Omega does business based upon my experience. The last question is, are you an ambassador of Omega? If you're not, then you need to pick up and embrace it and notice that everywhere that you go, that you're an ambassador for Omega, and we are ambassadors of Omega. I want to thank you for this opportunity to come before you to talk about our theme for Achievement Week this year. I know most of you, so it's an honor to come home, and the honor is in you asking me to come to be your speaker. Any and every time that you ask me, I will be there for you because we have labored together. We have worked together in the 2nd District. I just happened to be a young man that volunteered to work at the international level, and the brothers said yes. So I want to thank you for your time, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak. Thanks, my brothers.
Thank you so much, Brother Grand. We appreciate you and respect you. And with the message or the words that you delivered tonight, I wish I had invited my pastor. He could have got his sermon from Sunday from you with those Bible references or whatever. But needless to say, we thank you for doing this. We know that your schedule doesn't allow for a lot of things outside of official IHQ level fraternity things. So we're glad that you were able to do this. And also, we have a little token of appreciation for you. I know that, you live in my neighborhood, so I'm going to talk to you afterwards, find out whether or not you want me to just bring it past your house or you want to stop by and get it or whatever, but we thank you for that. And we wish you Godspeed and keep on doing what you can to take Omega to the next level.
Thank you, my brother.
All righty. Next up, everyone, we are entering into those awards that are very special to Omega men. And they are the significant awards that do the things that really identify the people in the community and the brothers that have been doing things to make a difference. So first we will do the Chi Delta Citizen of the Year. And the presenter is our immediate past bossless, still holding down the fort on his way from the chair, Brother Maurice Garland.
Thank you, Brother Hickenbottom. The Citizen of the Year is Prince George County Executive Angela Alsobrooks. I had the fortune to get to know her well before she ran for county executive several years back. I hosted 2 fundraisers for her, one at my home and one at the women's clothing store that my wife and I own. She is a down-to-earth sister, and I just wanted to just share that with you guys. She's different than what I would say, and no offense, Nick, most politicians. In November 2018, Angela, a proud lifelong Prince Georgian, was elected as the 8th county executive for Prince George County and the first woman to hold the position. Her administration is committed to providing a world-class education system, safe communities, and a robust economy that creates jobs and opportunities for all and increases the commercial tax base to ensure residents are provided with the services they deserve. During her first 3 years, Angela has remained committed to delivering on the promises she made to Prince Georgians at the start of her administration. She had led a government that had increased education funding, created the Office of Veterans Affairs, the first of its kind in the state of Maryland, and allocated funding for the first behavioral health facility in the county. She created the Police Reform Work Group to implement critical police reforms and hired a new police chief who is a national leader in community policing. Angela has remained committed to the health and well-being of Prince Georgians during the COVID-19 global pandemic, ensuring residents and businesses impacted by the pandemic received assistance by distributing several hundred millions in grants and programs to the residents and small businesses and more. She launched a comprehensive vaccination program to ensure Prince Georgians had access to the COVID-19 vaccine, delivering 1.2 million vaccines to residents in just 1 year. Just on a side note, Prince George County was one of the highest areas of vaccinations in the country. In addition, her administration secured more than $1.6 billion in state aid for Prince George County during the Maryland General Assembly in 2021. That was a record amount of the state aid for the county in a single session. Under her leadership, the county continues to become the economic engine in the state and has retained its AAA bond rating every year of her administration. Angela received her BA in public policy from Duke University and her JD from the University of Maryland School of Law. In 2010, she was elected to serve as the county state's attorney, becoming the youngest and first woman to be elected to that office in Prince George County. Angela is a member of the First Baptist Church of Glen. She's also our sister, as she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and she resides in Upper Marlboro with her daughter, Alex. I'm going to accept this award on behalf of Angela. She is on a flight, actually, flying across the country to Las Vegas. She has committed to join us at one of our upcoming chapter meetings to address the chapter. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Boslis. Congratulations to Soror Exec Alsobrooks. She is no stranger to the brothers. Matter of fact, she recently attended our council meeting, or I should say shirt sleeve conference and suits and stilettos that was hosted by 5 Maryland chapters in the area. Next up, we will have the General Charles Young Military Leadership Award. Now, you might hear people go back and forth saying Colonel Young and General Young, and that's because recently, Colonel Young received posthumous ranking.
Brother Pete, I think we're up for legislator.
Okay, we're gonna do that one, okay. All right, brothers. Well, everyone, next up will be Chi Delta's and Outstanding Legislator. And we are proud to say that he is an Omega brother. And we're going to bring on his presenter, Brother Altman Pennell.
Great. Thank you, Brother Higginbotham. I am honored to present Brother Nick Charles, Delegate and Chairman Brother Nick Charles, who is not only Omega man, but I'm proud to say also my Sands of the great 2008. I've seen Brother Charles grow from a newly elected legislator to now the chairman of the Prince George's County delegation, which is a big deal. And also, I like to say a brother that truly represents the 8 versus 80 mentality, as he is the only right now man of Omega in Annapolis. Nick is not only my friend, a mentor, but also a critical person I rely on in a professional capacity. I'm honored to support this brother in a number of ways. So when we decided who to give this award to, it was without question to present Brother Charles with this award. Brother Charles, Brother Delegate Nick Charles, excuse me, won 2008 Omicron Gamma chapter. Was elected to his first term representing over 119,000 constituents in Maryland's 25th legislative district, encompassing major landmarks such as Andrews Air Force Base and Prince George's County Community College. His district is comprised of 2 municipalities, the city of District Heights and the town of Morningside, and multiple unincorporated communities, including Forestville, Capitol Heights, Suitland, Largo, Kettering, Clinton, Temple Hills, and Upper Marlboro, in Prince George's County. In 2018, and recently reelected for another 4 years in his past election on November 8th. So congratulations, Brother Charles, for your reelection. He currently serves as the chairman of the influential, I would say one of the most influential Prince George's County House Delegation caucuses, and is a member of the House Ways and Means Committee after having served his first 3 years on the Health and Government Operations Committee. Additionally, Brother Charles serves on the Maryland Procurement Improvement Council, where he advocates for equity and inclusion on behalf of small and minority businesses. Delegate Charles is also a member of the State Joint Audit Committee, where he works to hold state agencies accountable and make sure that Prince George's County gets its fair share, which is really important for us, brothers. Fraternally, Brother Charles is a member of the Lambda Gamma Gamma chapter of the 2nd District, where he has served the chapter as political action chairman, the Prince George's County Pan-Atlantic representative, and talent hunt chairman. He is also financial with Gamma Pi chapter. In the 2nd District, he has served as the legislative advocacy subcommittee chairman for the district's fatherhood and mentoring committee. As an undergrad, Brother Charles served as the 2nd vice district representative of the 3rd District and boss list of the Omicron Gamma chapter at the University of District of Columbia. I am honored to present the Outstanding Legislator of the Year Award to Brother My Sands Delegate Nick Charles.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Altman. The words were very kind, and I truly appreciate everything you said. You're definitely a friend, and I'm hoping to see you tomorrow as I fly out for the National Black Caucus of State Legislators in Las Vegas for the conference. But first, giving honor to God, to the Supreme Bossless of the universe. I want to give him the honor because without him, none of us would be here, and none of the things that we were doing or are doing would matter. I like to acknowledge Brother Amir Sharif, our first vice district representative for the 2nd District. I also like to acknowledge our grand KRS, who some folks sometimes confuse.
Can you say that again?
Sorry, that's Alexa. She's listening in on our conversation, brothers. Alexa's always listening in. But I want to acknowledge Brother Shorty Bang Bang, who some may sometimes confuse with being my uncle, but definitely a good uncle in Omega to have, if any. Then I'd like to also acknowledge Brother IPB, Mo Garland, and recently elected bossless, Joey Drayton. Brothers, thank you for all that you do in the work of Omega. We need to have brothers always at the forefront of leadership, and you guys are doing it. And I truly appreciate everything that you're doing for our great fraternity. And also to the brothers of Chi D.
When I came in through Omicron Gamma chapter, knowing that we had my sons coming through Chi D at University of Maryland, I knew it was such an honor to be able to grow with the 2008 line and the things that we've been able to accomplish through friendship. I appreciate every brother from that 2008 line. And I saw a couple of them on the call. So root to the brothers from 2008, the great 08. But in addition to that, brothers, I just want to say thank you. Through all of these things, titles are great, but titles, as we all know, are barriers. And the one beautiful thing about our fraternity is we get through barriers through friendship, whether it's through wealth, class, self-conceit, or our station in life. This friendship that this fraternity shares is what truly makes us different from anybody, any other organization that is known throughout the Divine Nine. It's our friendship that continues to help us to come together with no issues to make an impact on our community. And so I want to continue to thank the bros for all the support that they've given me. And I'm looking forward to continuously partnering with the brothers. As you all know, I have events going on just about 2 to 3 times a week. I can't wait to partner up with the brothers of Chi D as I do with the LGG chapter and the Gamma Pi chapter. So bros, thank you so much. And root to the Qs.
Thank you, Brother Charles.
Thank you, my brothers. Next up, before I jump the gun, we were talking about the General Charles Young Military Leadership Award. And that award is given to a brother who's in the military or recently left the military, but shows great leadership and uplift and being a role model for all Omega men. Like I said, it was the Colonel Young Award, but he recently got a posthumous promotion to general. And from here on, it will be the General Charles Young Military Leadership Award. Up to make the presentation is Dr. Derek Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's an honor that I was asked to present this award. I am presenting this award to my friend, my fellow colleague, and my fellow brother in military, Colonel Robert W. Craig Gray. When I heard he was getting this award, I was kind of taken aback to when I first met him in the fall of 1989. And it was so funny thinking about the night that, we were discussing who was going to be on the Chi Delta 1990 line. And I'm just so glad I got another brother from the DC area that likes go-go to come on board. So I'll tell you a little bit about Brother Robert Craig. He is a native, like I said, of Washington, D.C. He initially entered the military in 1988 as a U.S. Marine Corps reservist. He then, once he left there, he graduated and transferred and graduated from the University of Maryland, College Park in 1991 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in political science and attended the U.S. Marine Corps Officer Candidate School before his entry into the Air Force. After selection for entrance to medical school, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Kentucky Air National Guard. He received his Doctor of Medicine in 1999 from University of Louisville School of Medicine, Kentucky, and completed his graduate medical training at Georgetown University and then later George Washington University before transitioning into active duty in June of 2001, where he completed his family practice residency at Malcolm Grove Medical Center, which is a hospital at Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland. Dr. Craig Gray was assigned as a family practice physician and a flight surgeon with the 8th Medical Group, Kusan Air Force Base in South Korea. And what a flight surgeon is for all of you all that may not know, is he has to make sure everyone is capable and ready to be able to fly, from the pilots to the people that are the service members in the Air Force, to make sure that they're suitable and ready to fly and go on these missions. So from South Korea, the following year, he was reassigned back to Malcolm Grove Medical Group Center as a flight surgeon, where he was assigned to the 1st Airlift Squadron, Andrews Air Force Base, supporting Air Force readiness missions worldwide. I was very proud of him when he became a flight surgeon there. I know he had some time where he had to serve on Air Force 2, and I thought that was pretty cool that he was a flight surgeon for Air Force 2. During his time, he was twice deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom as a squadron flight surgeon. After doing some research, I found out that, and I was totally surprised, but he flew 68 combat missions and combat support sorties. He had over 400 hours over Afghanistan, Iraq, and the Persian Gulf during this time. In December of 2008, Dr. Craig Gray was selected for the U.S. Air Force Residency in Aerospace Medicine program. He completed both his master's in public health at Johns Hopkins School of Public Health and Residency Training, and both aerospace medicine at in San Antonio, Texas in 2012. Subsequently, he was assigned to the McCord Field, Washington, where he served as Chief Aerospace Medicine there, and was deployed to the Southwest Asia, where he served as the Deputy Medical Group Commander and Chief of Aerospace Medicine for the 380th Expeditionary Medical Group. From there, he became a commander and former chief of aerospace medicine of the 58th Aerospace Medicine Squadron in Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. From there, he was transferred and became the commander of the 55th Aerospace Marine Squadron Air Force Base in Nebraska, where he, on many of our phone calls, he was very, very cold. But I guess in light of him being in Nebraska, where he was, where his last duty station was, is Colonel Robert Craig Gray was the chief of Aerospace Medicine Division, Headquarters Pacific Air Forces, Hickam Air Force Base, Hawaii, where Colonel Craig, oh, my lights went out, I'm sorry, where Colonel Craig Gray serves in operational medicine and preventive medicine practices and support policy development and strategies to support the United States Pacific Command. And for many of you all that don't know, the United States Pacific Command, in which he helped support, had 45,000 personnel, 9 bases, and 375 aircraft that he was able to support. So with that in mind, I'm at work, y'all, so forgive me, my lights went out with my automatic light, but with that in mind, congratulations, Robert Craig, Dr. Robert Craig Gray.
Thank you, Brother Johnson, Derek, and thank you all the brothers of Chi Delta and all the brothers of Omega that are attending the ceremony today. It's bittersweet because I know Brother Johnson, Derek, you came ahead of me, as you didn't mention, as an Army officer in an Army Medical Corps, and kind of influenced me not only in your, your tradition and in your example, because in Chi D and in Omega we lead by example, but to follow in your pathway as a medical officer. I just stayed a little longer than you did, Derek. That's all. But it's with bittersweet feelings that I accept this award. For those who don't know, you can see a different change in my uniform, so to speak. Tomorrow's my last day on active duty. I officially retired November 30th. So tomorrow's my last day on active duty after 26 years in the United States Air Force serving my country. And hopefully through that time, I've been able to, through my leadership, through my example, even though it's taken me far away from the bros and far away from Omega, hopefully I've been able to exemplify the 4 cardinal principles by my example, merit, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift, and show a good example for Omega, for military leadership, and especially for the now General Charles Young, what he exemplified. So with that, I just want to say thanks to all the bros and all the brethren and everyone here. I'm now stateside in an empty house in Atlanta. So if you want to come visit, I hope to be more involved and hope to get back to the Maryland area. But thank you very much for this honor of this award. I appreciate it very much. God help the troops.
Thank you, Brother Craig Ray, for your distinguished service. We appreciate you, my brother. Next up, we'll be going to the Chi Delta Basileus Awards with our now to become immediate past Basileus, Maurice Garland. These are awards that he makes to the men that keep the wheels lubricated and all the skids greased to allow us to do what we do during the year. Brother Garland.
Thank you, Brother Higginbotham. All right, let's move to the first Basileus Award for the last Omega year. It is my honor, and I want to say thanks to Brother Chris Pirtle for his leadership with our Reclamation and Retention Committee. He was committee chair, and as I shared earlier, we won the Retention Chapter of the Year Award for at the district level as well as the international level during the last Omega year. So great job, Brother Pirtle, with your leadership, as well as, thank you to the entire committee that supported you. Brother Pirtle, I'd like to give you a quick 15 seconds if you want to make a few comments.
Good day, bro and brothers. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all my committee members, Brother Marshall, he was my right-hand man, and thank the chapter for all your support. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to the next one, please. So Brother Roy Muhammad, I'd like to give a Basileus Award. Brother Muhammad was the social service, social action committee chair, did an outstanding job. We, as I mentioned, we just fell short, and it was very close in being, and basically being selected as Small Graduate Chapter of the Year. And a lot of it had to do with the work that we did throughout the last Omega year, which was outstanding. And so I definitely want to take a moment to recognize Brother Muhammad, as well as the committee. And I hope Brother Marcus McDonald will be okay to accept on his behalf, as he was on that committee. You have 15 seconds, Brother McDonald.
Yeah, by all means, it's an honor to receive the award on behalf of Brother Muhammad. The committee worked hard to reestablish itself within the community once again, and looking forward to do bigger and better things this year under my leadership. And I look forward to continue to serve Chi Delta. Thank you.
All right. Just two committees, really, I just want to highlight two committees, the Social Action Committee as well as the Reclamation Retention Committee, have new committee leadership with Brother Mark Marshall as serving on the Reclamation and Retention Committee, and Brother Marcus McDonald, who will be serving on the Social Action Committee as the new chair. So congratulations, and looking forward to continued great work. The next Basileus Award is for Brother Gerald Collins. And Brother Collins is just has been so impactful and instrumental to the chapter over the past few years, but even specifically last year. One of the things that he's routinely done, he's brought opportunities to us to be able to get involved and deliver service to the community, like the expungement fairs. Those were through Brother Gerald Collins facilitating and getting set up for us, which we've gotten a lot of recognition for. And so I wanted to honor him because he just on a routine basis just brings opportunities to the chapter, and we're very grateful because it keeps us active, engaged, and working and serving the community. Brother Collins is not on, so I will accept his Basileus Award for him. We can move to the next Basileus Award. So the next two Basileus Award, which will go to, one will go to Brother Dr. Dwayne Wallace, as well as Brother Thomas Well, I'm forgetting Thomas' last name, but brother, I'll get to it once I see the
Dawson.
slide. Yeah, sorry, Thomas Dawson. That's because he's not on the call. But anyways, brothers, these two brothers were very instrumental in supporting us with our MSP, first inaugural MSP program as a graduate chapter. And we brought in 4 new members, undergraduates from the University of Maryland at College Park. It was an outstanding process program, and it would not have happened if it wasn't for Dwayne as well as Thomas. And they did it. And I just want you guys to understand 2 things. Thomas was recently married, and Dwayne had just finished, getting his doctorate and was trying to start a new job, his new career. And they committed a lot of time and effort to the MSP process. And I just want to really just recognize them as well. I know Thomas is not on, but Dwayne, you can speak, accept this award, take 15 seconds and speak on behalf of yourself and Thomas.
All right, thank you, Brother Boss, and the chapter. We I can speak for Thomas. We do this work for Chi Delta chapter and Omega Psi Phi out of our hearts. So it's feels good to get recognition, and we'll continue to do thy duty that is best. And I'm excited that we have our 22 initiates, our spring 2022 initiates to carry the enthusiasm moving forward to keep our chapter moving in our excellent fashion. So thank you again.
Absolutely, well deserved. All right, those
Brother
are the
Brother Dawson
awards.
just logged on. Brother Dawson just logged on.
I just sent him the link. He just landed.
Hey guys, I just landed from the holidays, but looks like I got an award here. Thank you to Chi Delta and the entire chapter. Always glad to serve. And much love to the Qs over the holidays, man.
All right, thank you, Thomas. All right, those are the Bossless Awards.
All right, thank you, Brother Boss. We're now going into what's commonly referred to as some of the heavy hitters. And the next award will be the Chi Delta Superior Service Award. And the presenter will be Dr. Kevin Greenaw.
Thank you, Brother Higginbotham. George P. Braxton, JD, CDE. George Braxton, known to many as Brack, was initiated into the Chi Delta chapter of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity spring 1986. He has been a member of Xi Iota chapter in Charlottesville, Virginia, and is currently active in Phi Phi in Richmond, Virginia, as well as Chi Delta. In 1990, he was named Omega Man of the Year by the Lambda Zeta chapter of the University of Virginia. At Phi Phi, he has served on Ways and Means executive committees and is the executive director of the Seersucker Sundresses and Sounds event, which has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for scholarship and uplift. Now that's a party with a purpose. At Chi Delta, he was Vice Bossless, Dean of Pledgees, spring 1987 line, The 11 Hounds of Hell. At Chi Delta, also, he has been on the fundraising committee and a member of the executive committee. After graduation from the University of Maryland, Brack attended the University of Virginia School of Law, where he earned his Juris Doctorate. He became a member of the Pennsylvania Bar and practiced law before beginning a career in law school and law firm administration. He has served as Assistant Dean for Admissions at Catholic University of America and Director of Recruiting and Diversity at the LeClaire Ryan Law Firm. Later, he earned the designation of Certified Diversity Executive and has served as the Chief Diversity Inclusion Officer at the Defense Contract Management Agency and currently the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources. Brack is civically involved in his hometown of Richmond, Virginia. He was twice elected to the Richmond City Public School Board and served 2 terms as chairman. He served 10 years on the Greater Richmond Transit Company Board of Directors, 4 as the chair, and the Virginia Center for Inclusive Communities, Richmond. He has been married to Kelly Harris Braxton for 20 years and has 2 sons, Miles, 1 Lambda Zeta Fall 15, and Harris, 14. He enjoys golf, shooting sports, and is an executive bourbon steward and offers services through his business, Bourbon Excursions. Without further ado, I present to you the 2022 recipient of the Chi Delta Superior Service Award to my friend, my fraternity brother, George P. Braxton.
I appreciate that, Todd. First, I'd like to thank the brothers of the Chi Delta chapter for recognizing me with this honor. I would also like to recognize my wife for her patience as I devote hours to fraternal and civic projects, and my son, Miles Braxton, 1 LZ15, who is now a member of the Chi Delta graduate chapter. This has been an interesting year for me in Chi Delta. It has yielded more efforts than results, but hopefully the efforts have established a standard and paved the way for future success. You see, while there is a place for mediocrity in life, it has no place at Omega. I've always had enough self-confidence to trust that I could do good things on my own. But I became an Omega man, not to do good things, but to do epic things with other excellent like-minded men. If there's one thought I hope to leave here before I join my father and uncle in Omega chapter, it is to embrace the epic. Epic doesn't just happen. It requires vision, cooperation, planning, and enthusiasm. It requires blood, sweat, and tears. Meanwhile, mediocrity only requires lukewarm enthusiasm, and the product will reflect that. Brothers, reject mediocrity and embrace the epic. In closing, I thank you again for this honor. Long live the flagship, long live the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Thank you, Brother Brack. And Brother Top, I'm surprised you did not mention that or say Wakanda Forever to Brother Braxton in presenting his award. All right, next up, brothers. The Chi Delta Omoti. Omoti stands for Omega Man of the Year. Making this presentation to a very deserved brother will be Brother Brian McAllister.
Good evening, brothers and honored guests. It is my privilege and my honor to present the Omega Man of the Year Award for 2022 to Kalen Parrott. Kalen was born and raised in Baltimore and is a true Baltimorean in every facet. He was initiated into the Chi Delta chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated in 2012. Keep light and keep notice of that, 2012. He has been a member of Pi chapter, Tau Pi chapter, as well as Chi Delta. In 2013 through 2014, he served distinguished as keeper of records and seals, as well as membership selection process for Pi chapter. In Chi Delta, he has served as keeper of records and seals, as well as served as a member and or chair on multiple committees that include, but are not limited to, membership selection process, otherwise known as MSP, technology, and 45th anniversary. During the years of 2013 through 2015, he has won multiple Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated scholarships. In 2020, he received the Superior Service Award from the Chi Delta chapter. In 2021, he received a Bossless Award, also from Chi Delta chapter. He has a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from Morgan State University. Also served as a project manager and electrical engineer, as well as systems engineer at the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory. Brother Parrott has also taken a pivot in his life, moving from engineer to actor. So as you begin to look at the big screen in the future, this humble man of Chi Delta will be on that big screen, be it movies or even soap operas. Brothers, I present to you Kalen Parrott.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. First, I want to thank each and every one of you on this program today. It's been 12 years. Well, no, actually, it's been 10 years since crossed those burning sands of Omega Psi Phi. Since my birth in Omega, I've pledged allegiance to her cause and an effort to continue the legacy of those before me. I'm blessed to have been initiated in such a storied chapter with such accomplished men. And I am honored to call those men my brothers. 12 years ago, I told brothers that I will exude our 4 cardinal principles daily. And I hope that I have not let any brother down. So brothers, let's continue to set an example for young men and old men in our sphere of influence. Let's ensure that we lift as we climb in all areas of our lives. Let's do thy duty that it's best and leave unto the Lord the rest. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued service and support. And I just look forward to the many more years of friendship, brothers. Thank you so much. Root to Chi D and root to Omega Psi Phi.
Thank you, Brother Parrott. You are indeed a true recipient of Omega Man of the Year. I know you didn't want me to tell anybody, but I'm going to say it anyway. Kalen has promised me that I will have a seat in the lower level when he gets his Oscar in Hollywood. We have had a fantastic evening, everyone. And this last award will be coming from our Vice Bossless as presenter, as he, immediate past Bossless, as he makes a presentation to our outgoing Bossless, Brother Maurice Garland.
Thank you, Brother Higginbotham. Brother Maurice Garland, I'm slowly but surely taking on the mantle of Bossless Whisperer that you have bestowed on me. With that being said, my brother, on behalf of Chi Delta chapter, we'd like to present to you this gavel. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And I'm gonna read to you what it says on the plaque. And this is a precedent that we're gonna set going forward for all future Bosslai. Friendship is definitely essential to the soul. This is presented to Brother Maurice Garland, Bossless, Chi Delta chapter from 2019 to 2022. Quote, a good leader inspires people to have confidence in a leader. A great leader inspires people to have confidence in themselves, end quote. And I truly believe you've done that, my brother. And on behalf of the brothers of the chapter, we bestow this honor on you and wish you continued goodwill and blessings in whatever future endeavors. And welcome to the back row. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Vice Boss. And I'll just make 10-second comments. I'm humbled and honored, but this award really is a chapter award. The success of the chapter over the past 3 years has been due to the brothers in the chapter doing the work. So again, this award I appreciate and I accept it, but this is a chapter award.
Thank you, Brother Garland. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to, once again, everyone, we thank you for joining us. We wanted you to see some of these brothers that help Chi Delta do what it does. We ask that you bless all of us and bless those brothers that couldn't join us tonight. And these final words will be from Brother Garland. Brother Garland.
Thank you, Brother Hickabotham. Again, great job. First, I want to just say congrats again to all of the awardees and the founders stand-in. I would like to thank Brother Hickabotham and his entire committee, which I'm glad to say has grown a little bit, but it's been a 1-2 person show for a couple years, but another outstanding Achievement Week award ceremony. Thank you to you and your committee. Thank you to all that are on the Zoom and who have hung in there with us. We appreciate your time tonight, your patience. To the brothers of Chi Delta chapter, there's more work to be done. Next man up. Every brother, and this is going to be the final words I have as bossless, I guess. Every brother, regardless if you're financial or not, join at least one committee. And those are my closing words. I will turn it now over back to you, Brother Hickabotham, for if you're going to do the closing prayer, or if we have, I think I saw Josiah on, so we have our chaplain on, but it's your call, Brother Hickabotham.
If Josiah's there, let's go with him.
All right, Brother Chaplain.
Come on. Please bow your heads. Thank you, Lord Father, for this day. Thank you so much for the people we've come to celebrate. We thank you for their great acts of service to our community, to our chapter, and to our surrounding area. I ask you, Lord, to please let us continue on with another great year of service and of fraternity as we go forth. Please let everyone have a safe way home or wherever they're going. Please just bless the rest of our evening. These things we ask you in prayer. Amen.
Amen. Brothers, turn your cameras on. We got to take a group picture. All right. Everybody there? Where you at, Brother Charles? Brother Davis, Kalen, Brother Wallace, turn your cameras on. I'm gonna start taking pictures. See you, Brother Martin. Guess that's it. Thank you, brother. I believe that concludes the program.
Well, no, we are going to have.
Oh, my bad.
Omega dear. I believe Kalen is.
Omega dear, we are thy own. Thou art our life, our love, our home. We'll sing thy praise. precepts make us true. Live nobly as all real men do. Let manhood be our eternal shrine, with faith in God and heart and mind. Through days of joy or years of pain, to serve thee will be our aim. And when we say our last goodbye, we'll love Omega Psi Phi. Through days of joy or years of pain, to serve thee will be our aim. And when we say our last goodbye, we'll love Omega Psi Phi.
I want to thank you, brothers, for getting through this with me. I don't know what happened, but I've been sick today, bros, and you might hear it in my voice. But well, let me make it nice. I've been regurgitating all day, and I just feel weak. Although I tested negative for COVID, I don't know what it is, flu, cold, or some of this RVS or whatever it's called, RSV. I don't know, but fortunately, it's just me. And I think
you can go ahead and cut the recording off.
I think I got it up in New York.